Hey, my name is Matt Carter. I'm loving the sound of the guitar back there, and you are watching episode 73 of the show right here on Shaw TV. Our musical guest behind me is Nanaimo's own Mark Crissinger. He's a prolific musician. He's a singer-songwriter, a rock and roller who has traveled this great country of ours but calls Nanaimo home now. We're going to get to hear some of his music as well as find out more about him in an interview later on this hour with Matthew Hoffman. All right, also on today's show, it's magic. Yes, see if you can believe your eyes as we introduce you to master illusionist Michael Berends with some feet for magic for us today. It's going to be the greatest disappearing trick since the Leafs' last 3 weeks of the regular season. Oh, sorry about that, Todd. That hurt him. All right. I must say, it actually makes much better TV to see a magician pulling a rabbit out of a hat than a jail warden trying to pull a habit out of a rat. All right, I love English. All right, hey, do you and your kids love books? Well, if so, you have to check out Bookfest 2014. It's a Vancouver Island Children's Book Festival happening in May. So, what authors are you going to meet? What else can you see, do, and read? Well, Rachel Lowinger is going to find out for us from organizations JESSA Smith and GILLIAN TIDEY. We're also going to talk gardening. And why not, of course, because spring has sprung. So get ready to soil your plants and find out what you should be planting right now as JOANI speaks with professional gardener Wayne Flathers. Not to be confused with Ned Flanders, who's also outstanding in his field. Ned Flanders Fields. Moving on. All right, we also have a segment on a very cool international aid program that takes support from Canadians and helps grandmothers in Africa. Why? How? How can you help? Well, Louis Beck is going to speak with Dr. PAXIE VREEDE from the Grandmother to Grandmother campaign. She'll tell us some more all about it. But first off on the show, we're going to start on a bit more of a serious note. You've probably heard of ALS, a condition also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. But do you know exactly what it is? And do you know what it's like to live with the condition? And also, do you know who is out there to help folks live with it and to support them? These questions will be answered as well as much, much more right here, right now. It's the show, and it is on Shaw TV.
And I am here with Serge and his wife Nicky Vaillancourt, and they have been living with ALS for the last 2 years. I guess that was when you first noticed symptoms of ALS, and a lot of people know this as Lou Gehrig's disease just because I guess that's the popular name for it. Tell me a little bit about how you found out that you were experiencing some of these symptoms of ALS.
Well, my wife knows my muscles twitching, and I ended up going to see a doctor, being referred to neurologist,
right.
And I eventually found out what it was.
Right. And so Nicky was the one that noticed that your muscles were twitching and you were having some issues with a loss of muscle control. And so
yeah.
It often is your partner who notices some of these things. And did you notice any of these things yourself?
Well, when she pointed it out,
right. Right. So
I was on a weightlifting program. Mm-hmm. I thought maybe I just overdid it.
Right. Yeah, and, so it can be subtle in the beginning, and because it really is a disease of a lack of muscle control. And so for Nicky, how was that for you, and how has it been for the last 2 years as a caregiver?
It's been very challenging. It's been difficult. It's there's not really any words to describe it because it's very unforgiving disease, and it's very difficult to watch the person that you love basically deteriorating day by day, and little by little there's less they can do all the time. Mm-hmm. So it is very difficult to watch the person you love basically fading away in front of you. So.
Right. And you have a family as well,
mm-hmm.
so the whole family has had to basically experience this. You know, it's so crippling, and as you say, just being able to watch a loved one and you being the first to see. You've got 2 kids, and as you said, you're preparing them to graduate, and so there's all sorts of different things that you're experiencing while you're dealing with the disease. Tell me about some of the supports that you have found to be able to, you know, the resources in the community that you've been able to garner?
Imagine. Look, when I found out what the ALS Society does, I was compelled to raise awareness. That's why I received that award.
This is your award that you got from the ALS Society.
And they have a fantastic equipment loan program.
Right.
And that saves patients thousands of dollars. And they have support for family members, counseling, transportation, support group.
And you actually got a scooter that was given to you. And you go around on your scooter and you hand out a little piece of paper that I have here. And it tells people about the walk for life that's coming up. And that's coming up on June the 8th.
June the 8th
and
in
so,
Parkville.
Right. And so that's going to be at City Hall. They're going to be starting. And at 9 o'clock is when people are rallying together. And then 10 o'clock is when the walk actually starts. And that's going toward helping to buy some of this equipment and support the families.
And research for a cure.
Research for a cure, which is of course what we really want. That's the main thing. So anybody that wants to get involved, they can go to your website, to the, well, it's not your personal website, but the ALS website.
Well, the link is quite lengthy. So what they did, if your viewers would go to alsbc.ca,
which is up on the screen right now.
/events.
Okay.
Scroll down a little bit. I'm about the 10th there. It says support.
You want support for your
Vaillancourt.
right.
If you click on that, it will take you to the walk page where you can sponsor me.
That's great. Well, you know what? We're going to have to wrap up right now, but what I'm going to do is get people to look at what's on the screen right now. They're going to find you and they're going to support you. I want everybody who's watching to support Serge in his walk for life.
I have been blessed. I'm at 52% of my goal.
That's great. 52%. Well, we're really wishing you success on that, and I know that there's going to be a lot of people out supporting you. And now we're going to actually be going over to find out more about magic, the magic of Mike, the magician there, who's just waiting in the wings, and we're just going to pass it over to him.
Hey everybody, Michael here on the show. It's time to do a little bit of magic with some playing cards. We're gonna put them down here on the table. I figure we're gonna give them a really good shuffle, just like so. I want you to watch, make sure that these are very, very mixed up. You can take a good look at them here. Look at that, nice and mixed. Just like so. For everybody at home, I want you guys to look at the cards. I want you to notice that they're all mixed. Very, very mixed up. Now, if you ever want to mess up a magician, this is what you do. Don't ever do this. This is called a slop shuffle. This is a messy, messy, messy shuffle. Some of the cards are face up, face down. They're all interlaced together, which is not a lot of fun. Holy cow, look at this. Up, down, all around. Don't ever do this because a magician will take a long, long time just to get out of this mess. Now I want you to take a look at these. The cards are interwoven together. Some of the cards are face up. Some of the cards are face down. Some of the cards are face to face to back, back to face. All mixed up. Now here's the magic part. Watch this close. Here we go. All we got to do is put the cards down. And I'm going to go back in time just a little bit, back before we did all that shuffling, just like that. And if you take a good look, you'd almost swear that all the cards are right back in the perfect order. But wait, it gets better than that. Not only that, I want you to take a look at these cards. Not only did they go back together, but in that time I was able to separate them from the ace through king of clubs. The ace through king of spades. The ace through king of diamonds. And last but not least, the ace through king of hearts. All right, a little bit of magic. We're going to have some more magic later on in the show, but for right now, I'm going to send it over to Rachel on the main set.
Thank you, Michael. Today we are here with GILLIAN TIDEY and JESSA Smith, and we will be talking about Bookfest. Welcome.
Thank you.
So I'm going to start off talking to you, GILLIAN.
Okay.
So out of curiosity, what is this event for?
So what this event is all about is promoting literacy among children in the Nanaimo area. So what we do is we gather a group of Canadian authors and illustrators together, and they put on sessions for children to go to and sort of interact with some of their favorite Canadian authors.
Sounds awesome.
It is.
What age groups is this centered towards?
It's for ages 5 to 12. So children can buy tickets, and parents can accompany them to the sessions, but typically we encourage children to go. And we do have activities planned for younger kids, toddlers, throughout the day, so parents don't have to leave those ones at home.
All right. So now I'm going to move over to you, JESSA.
Okay.
What exactly drove you to want to volunteer for this?
I am now a teacher, and I started going to Bookfest when I was 5 years old, so I grew up with it, and I use literature every day in my work. So I really see it as a benefit part of their learning and part of their lives, and I don't think that children are involved in enough literature right now. So this is a good way for them to be involved.
How can other people volunteer to go help out with this?
Actually, they can email either GILLIAN or I, and we can get in contact with them and set them up for something on May 3rd.
I'm going to ask you the same question I asked JESSA. What got you to volunteer for this?
Well, my family moved to Nanaimo when I was in the 3rd grade, and I was a big reader, and I won a scholarship ticket to come to Bookfest at that time. So that was my first experience, and after that my mom saw how wonderful it was and started volunteering, and she's the one who I've been going since then, since I was 8 years old, and I started volunteering as soon as I was too old to go to the sessions. So yeah, now JESSA and I both work there with our moms.
Yeah.
What are some of the authors that come to this?
This year we have Dan Bar-El, Marty Chan, Aubrey Davis, Sarah Ellis, Rachna Gilmore, and a few more. And it's a mix. We try and get different authors every year.
Where is this event held?
It's actually held right in the downtown square by the library in Port Theatre. It used to be held at VIU, but we've moved it down for 2 years now. So there's a lot of events. We have food being sold by Food Share. We've got an artist, Graham Walker, playing at lunchtime. So it really just becomes a fun event in the core of downtown Nanaimo.
All right. How can you get tickets to go to this?
You can actually go onto porttheatre.ca and you can buy tickets online. They're $10 each or $25 for a family pass. So it's a great day to get involved with.
Mm-hmm. I know it's kid-centered, but will it be fun for the adults that have to go with the kids?
It actually is. A lot of parents are hesitant to come with their kids, but they seem to have just as much fun as their kids do. So I would totally encourage parents to come with their kids for that day.
Okay. Unfortunately, we have to go, but thank you both for coming on. And now we will be going back to Michael, where he will continue dazzling us with his tricks.
Hey, and we're back. Time to do a little bit more magic. I have another deck of cards here, and figured we'd do a little bit of a story about a guy named Sam the Bellhop. Sam the Bellhop, he was a guy that owned a restaurant, and one day the big doors opened up, and 4 guys came in, dressed like kings. All right. Well, they talked to Sam. They told Sam that they were new in town and that they were looking for some company. So Sam said, that's not a problem at all. Let me see what I can find. Let's take a look. 2 brunettes, 2 redheads. Wow. They said, that is great. Thank you very, very much, Sam. Where'd you find them? Found them down at the 654 Club. 654 Club. Wow, Sam, that's great. Thank you so much. Here is a $2 tip. $2. So anyways, the guys and girls were eating dinner. They were having a lot of fun, sitting around, having a good time, but the guys got a little bored. They wanted to play a little bit of cards. So what they did was they talked to Sam. They asked Sam if they could round up some card players. So Sam did that. He actually went down the block 3 times. There's once, and there's twice. Let's do it one more time, just like this. 3 times. And he came across 4 guys named Jack. They said, Sam, where'd you find those guys? Well, the 654 Club, of course. Sam, that's great. Here is another $2 tip. Which is great. So the guys were playing cards, starting to lose. They lost all their money. All they had was a $40 check. So they said to Sam, hey, Sam, can you do me a favor? Can you split this into 2 20s? Sam said, well, I can't do that, but I can split it into 4 10s if you'd like. Wow, Sam, that's great. Here's another $2 tip. Wow, well, they say, Sam, you look like you're pretty young. How old are you? I figure you're maybe, what, 38? Sam said, no, I'm 39. Wow. Well, Sam, hey, do you live here at the club? Sam said, no, I actually live at 1329 8th Street, downtown. I said, Sam, do you like to play cards? He says, yeah, I love to play cards. Well, where do you like to play cards? Well, down at the 654 Club, of course. Wow. Well, Sam, have you ever seen any good hands lately? Well, actually, I was in a really good game the other day. I was in a game with a guy named Matt. He was a host of a TV show. Wait, what? He had 3 7s and 2 8s. That's a full house. That's awesome. Yeah. But hey, you know what? There was a guy there that was better than that. His name was Todd Jones. Oh, yeah! Todd Jones had 3 aces and 2 9s. Aces over 9s. That's a great full house. But that wasn't the best part of it all. The best part of it all was one guy did everything all night. He won all the money. He had the best hands. His name was Michael. He was a magician, and he had, whoa, a straight flush. Oh, yeah. And he won everything. Right on. That's my little story about Sam the bellhop. And now we're going to go over to our musical guest. His name is Mark, and he's going to do a song called Aura. Send it over to you, Mark.
So glad it's true. I can't undo the way I feel. So glad it's true. I love you. I love the life we make. I love the give and take. I wouldn't change a thing about you. I love where we have been. I love the shape I'm in. I wouldn't change a thing about you. So glad it's true. I can't undo the way I feel. So glad it's true. I love you. It's unbelievable, we are invincible. There is an aura that surrounds love. It's unconceivable, we are invincible. There is an aura that surrounds love. So glad it's true. I can't undo the way I feel. So glad it's true. I love you, yeah. I love you.
That's great. Thank you, Mark. Applause, applause. So that was a great song, Aura, and that's Mark. He's been on the show a few times, and we really appreciate him being here. Another person we appreciate being here is Wayne Flathers, who is here to talk to us about spring gardening. He's from Long Lake Nurseries. Yep. Just got that right, and then I got it wrong again. You know, this is springtime, as we all know, and don't let the rain fool you. It's or the cold today, but it is springtime, and so people are out there gardening, and I imagine it's a busy time for you over at the nursery.
Yeah, it is. Things are definitely picking up. The more light we get each day, it helps increase the growth rate and the warmer temperatures as we all want.
That's right. Well, we all do want warmer temperatures. Where are they? So what can we be doing at this time of the year? It's just spring. I guess gardening is just starting at this point. And so tell me a little bit about what we can do as far as getting our gardens going for spring.
Well, we like to prep our gardens by adding some nutrients into the soil, so we can do that organically with manures, and you can also use fertilizers if you want as well too. There's also organic fertilizers. It's good to rototill the earth for your vegetable garden. Helps bring the fertilizers into the soil and aerate the soil as well too.
And it's good exercise.
It's good exercise, absolutely. It's always nice to get out into the fresh air and to be doing something productive and rewarding in the long run.
Right. Well, you're a professional gardener, so you're probably on call now. You're getting a lot of people wanting you to do that sort of work for them.
Yep.
If people can't manage it themselves.
Yep, we do a lot of that as well too.
Nice. So you actually have you've been in this business for quite a long time, 30 years.
Yep, 30 years plus.
Right. So it's your family's business, and so you know a lot about all the different aspects. So when you're thinking about even the soil that you're going to be using, what are some of the things that people should be looking for?
For like what to do with the soil, like I was saying, amending the soil and help enriching the oxygen in the soil. Always making sure that you pick that location in your yard that's going to have lots of sun.
Right. Yeah, these are things that you need to really think about, not just where the garden is best located, but where's the sun.
Yep, exactly. You don't want it around the side of the house. It's going to be facing, you know, in the shade more, that's for sure.
Right, so take a look at where the sun's tracking before you decide where you're going to put your garden.
Yep.
So for a first-time gardener, you know, they've found their plot, they know what they've got the soil there, so now what's going to happen? They're going to be planting some, you've got some specimens here.
Absolutely, these, you know, everybody should be doing vegetables. I love to grow my vegetables. I do a lot of spinach and lettuce. This is what I got right in front of me right here. They're easy, these are transplants, they're easy to use. They're individual cells, like this package right here would have 6 individual plants in it.
Right.
So you can easily pop one out and put it right into your earth and it's ready to go. It makes it very easy.
So to pop them out, do you just use your thumb on the bottom? Or?
Nope, yeah, just squeeze the cell on the bottom and it'll just pop right up.
Ah, that's what the cell is.
The root mass and all will come right out.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay, so these are some that have already been started, and you also have some seeds here.
Yep.
I'm always interested in where people get their seeds and what are the better seeds. So what are your recommendations?
Anything that we have in our nursery.
Why did I think you were going to say that?
The seeds basically are a much more economical way to go. So a lot of people are doing seeds now. They'll start with a nice light medium, which they can use inside of a tray like what I've got right here in front of me.
Right, that's cute.
Clear dome over top of it helps incubate and keep the moisture and the heat in there more.
Right.
And for value on it, it's a lot more productive, and you get a lot more out of it.
So you get the little seed starters, or actually this has little troughs. Is that what you do? You just put your soil in there and...
Absolutely.
Huh. Gosh, I must know something about gardening.
Easy peasy.
Huh. Easy peasy, that's what we like. So we have, we've got our actual plants, but then we have some implements that we're going to need to use as well to be able to do our or gardening. We're going to be talking in the second segment about some of the other products, but let's just, I'm going to run right into some of the implements here.
Yep.
You've got a bunch of different things here that people should have, I suppose, around the house.
Good home tools to have, absolutely, that you're going to have if you're going to be a homeowner.
Right, and you've got, well, you know what, we're going to go into some of those, I think, afterwards, but
Okay.
we've just as an example, we've got some of the, what are these called? I call
Hand
those
pruners.
snips.
Hand pruners.
Yeah, hand pruners.
Hand pruners.
Okay.
Bypass hand pruners.
Okay, and so yeah, that's really handy to be able to have in.
Be able to clip your crop, keep it in control, take take the flowers off.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So once you've got some growth, you have to actually cut it back.
Yep,
So,
you got to maintain it.
right. Well, you know what? We're going to actually, we're going to be finding out what's happening in the second half of the show right now. We're going to go back to Matt, and we're going to come back and find out some more about gardening after.
Perfect.
Absolutely, yeah, so much. And thanks, Joni, and thanks, Wayne, so much for being on the show as well. As mentioned, coming out with more stuff, and it's just really nice to meet some good people involved with gardening. So I grew up thinking gardeners only hung out in seedy neighborhoods. So it's nice to. Anyways, you're tuned to the show here on Shaw TV. As mentioned, yes, Joni and Wayne will be back with some more gardening info, and hopefully no jokes just like that. So be sure to stick around. As well, what have we learned so far on today's episode? Well, we've learned about ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, and what it's like to live with that condition, and also be supported with that as well. We've also found out more information on Bookfest 2014, which is the Vancouver Island Children's Book Festival. That's taking place on May 3rd. We've had some amazing magic, some card tricks courtesy of Michael the Illusionist, Michael Berends, who'll be back with some more unbelievable sights later on in the show. We're also going to hear about a campaign that helps out grandmothers in Africa. And we're also going to meet our musical guest, Mark Crissinger. And I'm going to get stabbed by an implement here pretty quick if I'm not careful. Or maybe I should keep the jokes to a minimum. All right, first though, before we get back into talking more about the Grandmothers for Grandmothers, I want to give a shout out to an upcoming fundraising event coming up in Nanaimo, and this is with a very juicy title of Sex and the Harbor City. Now, when I first saw this in the script, I actually thought this was referring to the upcoming autobiography from our cameraman, Howie Hennessy. Yes, Sex in the Harbor City will be his new book. Of course, that's not entirely true. He doesn't just, yeah. There you go. Don't worry, buddy. It's all good. Yeah. He doesn't just stick to the Harbor City. It's all good. Anyways, no, Sex in the Harbor City is actually a fundraising event loosely based around the spirit of the popular TV show Sex in the City, of course, featuring fashion, beauty, not brutality, and cocktails, which is the exact opposite you might find at my family reunion. There will also be some wine tastings, manicures, makeovers, a fashion show, a salon on site, and much, much more. A really, really awesome event. But again, I want to put this out there, that this event has been put on by the Downtown Nanaimo Business Association, the good folks there, as well as the Connect Club of Nanaimo. And why is that important? Well, the Connect Club is an amazing organization that's helped out an incredible number of charities and causes in Nanaimo over the years, many related to women's causes, and 100% of the funds raised from this event are going right toward those causes. So a huge up to the Connect Club and the Downtown Nanaimo Business Association putting on a fun night, as well as helping out those of us here in the community. So again, have a good time, help out the community. It's Sex and the Harbor City. The dirty details for you are Friday, May 9th at the Nanaimo Museum. And that all gets going at 7 p.m. Tickets for the event are available at the Queen's, Catwalk Fashion, Damsel Fashion, and Lucky's Liquor Store. All right, so again, be sure to check that out. But meantime, right now, it's time to throw it over to Lewis Beck again to find out more about a program that's doing great work for grandmothers in Africa. Lewis, over to you.
Thanks, Matt. Big doings in Nanaimo, obviously. PAXIE, I understand you came back from an educational trip to Africa, sponsored, as I understand, by the Stephen Lewis Foundation. Could you tell me a little bit about that trip, what inspired it, and what you experienced while you were overseas?
Thank you. Yes, I certainly can. I was lucky to be selected as one of 22 grandmothers from the Grandmothers Campaign in Canada to go to Africa to personally witness how the money that's being raised by the Grandmothers Campaign is being used and how it helps the grandmothers in Africa who are raising their AIDS orphans. And many of us don't know that there are about 1 million grandmothers in Africa, and that there are close to 15 million orphans that have resulted from the AIDS pandemic. And these are amazing numbers. The Grandmothers Campaign in Canada has been going since 2006 and has raised about $21 million for grandmothers in Africa. And the Stephen Lewis Foundation makes sure that that money goes directly to projects that directly benefits these grandmothers. So it goes to community-based projects, and we got an opportunity to see how these projects actually work. that was an amazing experience. And to see grandmothers who are living in circumstances that for us would be almost unacceptably poor, and to see them get together and create community coordination projects that work together to assist the grandmothers, that train them to provide services for each other, and that educate their children. It's a fantastic experience.
I understand that there's a local grandmothers group that supports the work of the Stephen Lewis Foundation overseas in Africa. Could you talk about the local organization that you're part of, PAXIE?
That is the Nanaimo Grannies, and they are one of the first grandmothers groups that started in 2006 when Stephen Lewis had his speaking tour across Canada. Mm-hmm. And we put on various fundraising events. One of them coming up will be the African Market on June the 7th at the Anglican Church on Chapel Street. But I'd really like to talk a little bit about my experiences in Africa, because that is the fact that you can get face-to-face with a grandmother, and this happened in many of the different projects, who tells you that 6 years ago or 7 years ago they were given up for dead, and they thought themselves they were going to die because they were sick with AIDS and they had been abandoned by their family, and there was just nobody helping them, and they had grandchildren that were also going to die if they weren't able to look after them. And they then said, look at me now, I am alive, I'm healthy, I am working in this cooperative project, and the fact that I survived is entirely due to this project and to its funders, such as the Stephen Lewis Foundation. And it's the whole community that this project produces, this cooperative where people grow food together and they learn skills together and they start to make crafts and they bring some things to markets and they get income generating project going, and they get access to medication. But it is not only that helps them, it is the love and care from the community. And when that community is starting to work, the grandmothers themselves give back by volunteering, becoming community health working and reaching out to others that are still hidden away in places and still suffering alone. They bring them in the project and the project grows. And this is what will turn the tide of AIDS in Africa, in sub-Saharan African countries, because of the work that the grandmothers are doing to keeping their communities together and to educate their children in AIDS, about AIDS, but also about safe sex and about birth control and all these kind of things.
That's wonderful, PAXIE. Is there anything going on locally that you'd like to mention before we wrap up here?
As I said, I would like to give a plug for the African Marketplace, which will be taking place on June the 7th. I will be giving some longer presentations about my experience in Africa at that time and the inspiring experience that I had there.
Thank you very much, PAXIE. It was a pleasure having you on this program.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to pass it over to Matt and Mark Crissinger, who's going to sing a song about something we'd always like to make, which is No Mistakes.
Thanks, Louis. I'm here with Mark Crissinger once again.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, I understand you've been very busy with work and other things. Can you tell us what you've been doing with your music life?
I've been playing a lot of shows, but mostly I've been focusing on things like the Vancouver Island Music Awards and trying to just take advantage of the exposure that gives you, and as well as the CBC Searchlight competition that I was contest that I was involved in. It's just something that gives you lots of exposure across the country. So I thought I'd work pretty hard at trying to take advantage of, you know, the little things that you get out of it. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. And I understand you have a Eastern tour coming up. Can you tell us about the shows?
Yeah, no rest for the weary, I guess. Just a couple more shows left on the island here with my band, the Blue Buds. including one solo show left, actually, which is at the Longwood for their acoustic music series that happens every Thursday night. And then a few shows with the band. Then, yeah, I go out for about 25 shows in Ontario and Quebec. Yeah.
And that's where you're from, right?
I grew up in Quebec, and I lived in Ontario for 20 years before moving out here, yeah.
Yeah, now you're here and you're doing loads of things, right?
It never stops, really.
Yeah, it never really does stop. Yeah, you're telling me before talking you're tired right now, right?
Yeah, because of course you got to work the day job as well. So basically I worked till 4 o'clock today down in Cowichan Valley, and then drove up here for the show. Yeah, feeling a little tired today.
Yeah, you even got an album on iTunes now. Can you tell us about that?
I've got my my 3 albums up on iTunes now, and you can just go to my website to find to get information about that, or just go straight to iTunes and Google Mark Crissinger or anything like that. You'll find me in there.
Yeah.
But they're cheap. They're less than $10 for each. So so get some original Canadian music in your collection.
Yeah, well, that's awesome, right?
And that, yeah.
I know I'll be downloading it, right?
Awesome.
I love your music every time I hear it, right?
Thank
I
you.
have to come out to the shows myself. Do you have anything else you'd like to tell our viewers about where to find events, music, and news about Mark Crissinger?
I would direct you to my website because I do play many venues all around the island. So if you're looking for places that do support live music, I'm probably playing in one of them, so I would direct you to those, to my website, and subsequently you'll discover what bars and what pubs and what cafes and stuff are supporting the music. And it's important as music lovers that we go and support those places, or they just won't stay afloat. And that's why I'm happy to be part of the Longwood Music Association, the Longwood Pubs acoustic Thursdays, because they've decided to dedicate their Thursday nights to having some great acoustic music. You get 3 acts for no cover, so it's a really great event every Thursday.
That is huge. That's awesome. I know I will need to come out. And to our viewers, anybody out there that is interested in coming on the show with their music, please email Andrew Roberts at gotpop@live.com. And Mark, I'd like to thank you again. It's always awesome to see you.
Thanks a lot, man.
And you get some rest tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
Good luck on your tour.
Thanks a lot.
And we'll throw it to No Mistakes.
Oh, sure, yeah. This is a song that I submitted to the CBC Searchlight contest. And we'll play it for you now. It's called No Mistakes. Message in our glances is nothing we can hide. The endless innuendo, back and forth in rhyme. If you're not taking chances, then you will be denied. Just wanna be your lover. I don't wanna be your man. But if you want to come on over, I will make you understand. There are no mistakes. Tiptoe around your friends, they don't need to know. Sleep into the evening, let our passion grow.
swallow any guilt. Embrace the unknown. You better stop believing when we become whole. I just wanna be your lover. I don't wanna be your man. But if you want to, come on over. I will make you understand. There are no mistakes. Now that we are done, and we haven't hurt no one, sometimes our intentions are just to please ourselves. I just wanna be your lover. I don't wanna be your man. But if you want to, come on over. I will make you understand. I just wanna be your lover. I don't wanna be your man. If you want to, come on over. I will make you understand. I will make you understand.
That was amazing. I didn't hear any mistakes in that song at all. That was amazing, Mark. Thanks. And I'm back with Wayne Flathers, and you're from Long Lake Nurseries, and you also have a maintenance, I guess,
Company. Yep.
yeah, the side of it where you go out and help people with their gardens is the lawn care and maintenance part of it is called?
Long Lake Lawn and Garden Maintenance.
Well, that's intuitive enough.
Yep.
We were talking a little bit about some of the implements that we use in the garden. I say we advisedly because I'm not gardening. My daughter has a farm, but I'm going to help her with her garden.
Yep.
So these are some of the things that I need when I go out and help her. Tell me about this guy here.
It's a weed puller, so if you want...
That's what I need.
Yeah, a weed puller. Well, some people don't want to have to go out and spray their lawn to look after the weeds.
Yep.
So it's a real easy tool to use. It's a stand-up tool.
Mm-hmm.
You can just poke it into the ground, you pull it back, and you can pull out dandelions.
I've used one of these, and they're great.
They are.
They're actually very cathartic. You can go out and just pull weeds to your heart's content.
Yep.
So you can rent yourself out, I guess, if other people want to have you do that.
That's it.
And then you've got this guy, and this is for weeding or for hoeing?
It is. Yep, scuffle hoe is what they call it.
There you go. So, see, I know my weeders.
You do.
Uh-huh. And so these are really helpful for your back and that sort of thing, so you can just...
Stand-up tools.
Mm-hmm. And we were talking a little bit about we had the smaller, I call them snips, but they're pruners.
We call them bypass pruners.
Okay.
Hand bypass pruners.
We'll go with bypass pruners. And they're left and right. I'm a left-hander, so
you can get them either other way.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. This actually would be upside down for me.
Yep.
Okay.
But there are left and right-handed ones.
Okay,
Yep.
that's good to know.
This one is the same type of idea, but it's just on a long pole handle.
Yeah,
Works the same way.
Very long, and it's pointed toward me. We've been sort of stabbing people with all these different things, so I moved them over a little bit. And these are essential. These are
gloves.
Yeah.
Yep.
And these aren't just your average gloves. They have rubber.
They're rubber, so it helps you maintain grip on your handles while you're working, because we don't always have dry weather when we're working.
We don't.
No.
We don't. I've noticed that quite a bit.
Yep.
Okay, so those are your implements. Now, here's some of your products. Tell me about these.
Absolutely. Well, we got garden fertilizer, like I was saying, mentioning earlier. You can use organic fertilizers. This is definitely an organic-based fertilizer. You can also use manures and stuff like that. Great to mix into the soil to help enrich the nutrients to get higher production on your growth of your plants.
So do you mix this with water? Or?
No, you can just take that and you can pepper shake it right down onto the ground. It's really easy to use.
I like easy.
Yes.
That's good. Okay.
Absolutely. Weed control, there's other ones that if you don't want to go out and pull the weeds manually and you do want to spray, you can get organic sprays now.
Good. Well, I'm glad that you said organic.
They are completely organic. They're safe for everything, and they do work. A little bit slower than pulling it, but they work.
Well, you know, I mean, if you did both, then you'd have no weeds.
Absolutely.
And if you live where I live, you don't even care about the weeds anyway. So.
How about moss?
I have moss.
Everybody's got moss. We live on the West Coast, so moss control is a great way to help suppress and to control that moss. You can do it each spring. This one is easy. You can just attach it to your hose, turn on the pressure, flick the switch, and
those are fun. I like
they're easy to use too.
So yeah, you can get the kids doing that for you. Your kids, this is going to be fun. Why don't you go out in the garden and get rid of moss? And so we've got a couple of other products here.
I do. I have a couple other ones that I want to show you. Bone meal is an essential product that you can use for when you're planting. It's always it's a staple that you want to put in the hole when you're planting a shrub.
Okay.
So it's a good product. And there's other products like this one here, which is called a transplanter. And the name is pretty self-explanatory. It's used when you're transplanting. So if you're transplanting your vegetable seedlings into your garden, or if you're transplanting a shrub out of the pot into the ground, or moving a plant in your yard because you're finding it's getting a little cramped out and you need to move it.
Nice.
This is a great product to water it in with.
Right, so those are preparation. You know, we're coming to the end of the segment. It goes by really fast. So I guess the best advice that we have is to go out to Long Lake Nurseries.
Come right down to the nursery.
Talk to you in person.
Yep.
Or any of the other fine people there that can give information, or give you a call if you want you to do it instead of doing it yourself.
Absolutely, you can call anytime.
That's great. Well, it came up on the screen, so I'm sure that you'll have lots of people coming and asking you, I was going to say dumb questions like mine, but
there's
anyway.
no such thing as a dumb question.
Okay, well, you know, you may live to regret that.
Everybody wants to be successful.
That's right. We all do.
Yep.
And speaking of successful, we have Michael, who's very successful in his field, and so here he is again with some magic.
Hey everybody, it's time for Magical Moment number 3 of the show, and I thought I'd bring along one of the hosts on the show, Matt. Is Matt around here somewhere?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, man? Good to see you, buddy.
Glad to be back.
Good. This is a lot of fun. I have a sketch pad here, and I figured we'd draw a little something here, see if you can help me.
Indeed, I don't know, yeah. Yeah. It wasn't very good. Over to you.
Funny guy. Here, watch this close, man.
All right.
You have to try and figure out what it is. You got it?
That's the top of Todd's head.
No, it's not the top of Todd's head. Close, though. Here, I'll give you a hint.
It's a bowl. A bowl.
It's not a bowl. Not a bowl.
It says bowl.
I know it says bowl. Here, I'll give you another hint.
Bowlbee. Bowba. Okay, it's a sheep with a bowl cut.
With a bowl cut.
No. Bowling ball. A bowling ball?
Ah.
With the yes.
Bowling ball look like this. Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
Bowling ball.
That looks like the front of Todd's head now.
Now it looks like the front of Todd's head. Wow, poor Todd.
Yeah, poor Todd. So bowling ball, yeah.
Bowling ball. Here's the fun part. Let's see what we can do with it. Okay, ready for this? Yeah, take a look. Take a look. It's gone. It's gone. It's down here. That's right, Matt. That's for you. Little present for Matt right here on the show.
This is actually a good hefty bowling ball. Not too shabby.
Right on.
You can put that somewhere for me and I'll get my better shoes on and go
thank
practice.
you so much.
Well, thanks so much for coming to the show.
No
Michael.
problems, man.
Right.
Good to see you.
One-hander. And they hopefully have you back on again. And,
yeah, absolutely.
And I got to admit, for those who may not have seen the background, another element of your illusionist, you're actually helping out with some of the back stuff in the back of the scenes today. So thank you so much for
not a problem.
Double, triple
it's
duty. It's
always a fun time here on the show.
Exactly. Are you doing any performances or anything recently?
Actually, yeah, I'll be at the VIX this year. One of the featured performers at that. Also, I just got hired to do the Woman, Wine, and Song on May 30th with the Nanaimo Chamber of Commerce. So come on out and check out those shows, and hopefully we'll see you there.
Beautiful. And do you have a website or anything people can see more information?
That's right. www.michaelberends.com is probably on the screen, or www.michaelillusionist.com. And check out the website.
Awesome.
Contact me. Do some shows.
Good, awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Round of applause. Come on, round of applause.
Yay!
Some good stuff. Thank you once again.
No problems, Matt. Thank you so much.
I do have to say, I myself actually tried to pull a magic trick once. I tried to actually break into my bank and deposit a check. Well, you know what, was all closed and no one was there. But I turned on the lights. I couldn't deposit it because I couldn't find a pen and teller. So I couldn't find a pen and teller. And, you know, and after all that, I actually got chased by the police, but I tried to hide in a remote Copperfield. And after that, I actually escaped from there to Jurassic Park, where I hid with who? Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs, yes. Anyways, hey, and now in fashion news, we're talking about fashion. You know, if you find your hair is too sick, fried, and royally flat, you can give yourself a nice perm, actually some nice curls if you get a handy a Merlin iron. So I actually had to borrow a Merlin iron once from an old guy who runs actually a clay sculpting program out of his house, and this guy really needs it too. He's quite a Harry Potter. I tell you now I don't know how Jafar I should take this. So before you get too sore, you can take your Gandalf the trigger, and I'll say thanks so much to all of our guests, hosts, volunteers, and staff for being here, both in front of the camera and behind the scenes. A big thank you to Milano's, who are not illusionists. They brought us some very real pizza and fed our hungry crew, so thanks to Milano's for that. Hey, for the show, you can also find us directly on Facebook now, facebook.com/theshowonshaw. You can also find previous episodes of the show there in their digital glory, as well as on YouTube, just by searching up our Shaw TV Central Vancouver Island YouTube channel. Now, if you have a good idea for us here on the snow, or on the actual show, or if you want to be featured, you have an event or cause you want to promote, give our executive producer a shout. Her name is Melissa Hall. You can get her at melissa.hall@sjrb.ca. Again, it's melissa.hall@sjrb.ca. You see, apparently I'm just the magic's magic's going off. All right, well, I think now it's time to mercifully change it over to my man, Mark Crissinger, for another song to send off the show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the show right here. It's Not Even Magic on Shaw TV.
Nice. Now you know what it's like to be caught in the middle, like a cat and a fiddle. Well, talking to myself in the middle of the night, tossing and turning 'cause it don't feel right. I'm caught in the middle, and I like it very little. I'm caught in the middle. Baby, you've been gone too long. Was it something I did? Was it something I said? Was it some kind of signal that went unread? I'm caught in the middle. We're in some kind of pickle. I'm caught in the middle. Baby, you've been gone too long. I've been thinking about you every single night and day. I don't even know why you had to go away. I've been pulling my hair out, wondering where you're gone. How could something feel so good, then feel so damn wrong? Well, asking where we can be found. I just keep on telling them you ain't around. I've been caught in the middle, like a cat and a fiddle. I've been caught in the middle. Baby, you've been gone too long. I've been thinking about you every single night and day. I don't even know why you had to go away. I've been pulling my hair out, wondering where you're gone. How could something feel so good, then feel so damn wrong? Well, come back, baby, I wish you would, 'cause this whole feeling don't feel too good. I've been caught in the middle, and I like it very little. I've been caught in the middle, and baby, you've been gone too long. Yes, I've been caught in the middle, baby, you've been gone too long. Well, I've been caught in the middle, baby, you've been gone too long. Yeah, good show, guys.